Allegory is beautiful, but literalness is inspiring. For God the Father created light and darkness, but in the beginning neither existed, but the Father existed before light and darkness, and now he is both light and darkness. For he created the light out of darkness, and he did this for the benefit of mankind. Genesis 1:3. For how can we see the light unless we are in the darkness? But we do know this: it is the image of light which we see, but not the source of the light itself. For optically we see the image of the object, which is a reflection of the light off the object, but we cannot see the light itself. That is, until the light came into this world. For the light became flesh, and the light is life. I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. John 8:12. The allegory is this, that God has become both light and darkness, for he makes no distinction between the two. Psalms 139:12. But the good of its different was meant for mankind, and on the first day he created the light, but darkness was made, for only in dark could we see the light. Genesis 1:3. And on the second day he created the heavens, for the light would dwell in the heavens. Genesis 1:6-8. And on the third day he created the earth, but the earth would remain in the darkness. Genesis 1:8-15. And on the fourth day he created two lights, the sun and the moon, so that all could see his creation on earth. Genesis 1:16-18. And the earth had light, but did not have God, for all we could see was the image of God. The sun came to earth to give sight to mankind, for he is the light of the world. John 8:12. And through the sun we have no fear, because his word of light is life. Psalm 36:9. The allegory is, though we see the light, we have just a glimpse of who our God is. For the spectrum of light that our eyes can see is just 1% of the spectrum of light. And although we know the qualities of light, for we now know that it is a wave, from Einstein's theory of relativity, and particle, the quantum theory of light, there are still qualities we do not understand, for Christ the light came down to earth so that we could be with the Father. The blessing is that by knowing the Father, now we are called sons of the light. John 12:36. And the littleness of light is this: we no longer see the image of the light, for now we see that Christ is the light. And what is the property of light? If we take the theory of relativity, we know that we can apply that which we know. E is equal to mc squared, where E represents energy, m represents mass, and c represents the speed of light. And from this formula, if we assume the speed of light is constant, we can extrapolate that energy, albeit a very prodigious number, is proportional to mass. Thus energy is proportional to mass. And as we know, the Father is energy, and his creation is mass. Now we can see that the Father is all-powerful, for he holds the creative and destructive force of his own creation, yes, the destructive force of man. For Father is proportional to his creation. For by the wisdom of man and relativity, we understand the destructive force of man. For through the destructive force of mankind, the earth and mankind shall perish. For when the nuclear holocaust ensues, a nuclear winter shall follow, and the light of the sun will depart from the earth. Then the fifth angel poured out his bowl on the throne of the beast, and his kingdom became full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues because of the pain. Revelation 16:10. And when the final trumpet sounds, Christ the Lamb and the light of the world, the sun shall depart from the earth, and the light of a lamp shall not shine in you any more.